Hey folks, this is Lawrence with Fellowship of the Father, and I would like to talk to you briefly about a show called I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy. So we are currently about at Black Friday in the year, and if you had a lovely Thanksgiving, congratulations. Hopefully that you got a little time to be thankful. And so we're going to talk about something a little bit different today to kind of shift gears, just to keep things moving along. I'm going to talk about a show called I Love Lucy. So, what was I Love Lucy about? I Love Lucy. So, I'll give you a little chance to write that down in the comments if you want. What do you predict I'm going to be talking about with I Love Lucy? I Love Lucy. So, it was a show back in the 1950s starring Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball. Okay, so um, let's talk about it. So, in this show, there's a fellow named Ricky Ricardo. Ricky Ricardo was a Cuban band leader who was moving his way not only through the entertainment industry in New York City, but he's also moving towards the big screen. So he's going to become an actor and start starring in movies. He's married to a female named Lucille McGillicuddy, I think was her last name. That was her maiden name. And so Lucy and Ricky lived in New York City in an apartment with their landlord, who was Fred and Ethel Mertz, were their landlords, and they were friends with these guys. So the premise of this story was you had Ricky Ricardo, the entertainer, and his wife Lucy, who had a real problem with letting Ricky just be the star. She really wanted to scoot in and become a star herself. And this was, from what I consider to be, a big shift in the philosophy of the United States of America. And I think it was a piece of propaganda and a way to train us as citizens to make room for the feminist agenda, the concept of men are perfectly equal to women and women are perfectly equal to men. And there's no difference, and that's it. End of story. No nuance, nothing to be explained. We are equal. So, in this show, what happens is Ricky would go off to work and he'd say, Lucy, I got a very important meeting tonight with a executive to a studio, or whatever it is that he was stating to be the case. And then Lucy would say, okay, have a great day. And the door would shut. And then Lucy would start scheming. She'd start scheming. I want in on this action. There's going to be a studio head there. I could be a movie star. So she decides she's going to go ahead and take some of the thunder away from Ricky by becoming this star. I'm sure she didn't care much whether Ricky was a star or not. She just wanted to be the star. So then she realizes she's going to need help. So then she starts scheming with her neighbor, Ethel Mertz. So now they're both coming together for these plans, and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to become a star just like Ricky Ricardo. So this is the premise of the show: is that every day, while Ricky Ricardo is off trying to make a living, trying to make a name for himself, trying to develop something for his family that the whole family can enjoy, his wife is building a counterproductive concept of what she could do to make her name in the world. And it becomes a big mess. It becomes a big mess. So, what's the purpose of the show? It's to train people like me and you to back down and don't worry so much about I'm sorry, my phone was very distracted. It was playing the part of Lucille Ball today, so distracting. Um, so the point of the thing is that it's training us to make room for chaos. It's trying to say, like, look, we know we were doing one thing and it was working, but it wasn't working well for everyone, was it? It wasn't working well for everyone. So we're going to make sure it works well for everyone. Everyone wins 100% of the time. No one loses. No one has to sacrifice. We're all winners. It's a participation award, right? So Lucy shows up at the club and she starts soaking up the spotlight. And unfortunately, what happens is, as an outcome to that, of course, there can't be two stars on the stage. There has to be one star, and that star ended up being Lucille Ball. And Ricky has to step back and make room for it. And then he has to explain to this executive what happened, and he has to fix the mess that was initiated from the female. So this is the new expectation of the new day here in America, where no matter what, everyone's included and we're all at the same level. And if you strain your arms having to lift someone up and you get hurt doing it, and at least the other person got to get their moment in the shade and forget about you. And this is where we're at. And that's why we're having such a chaotic mess in America, is that we've been trained and conditioned through TV programming and love songs and things of that nature, that men, even though they're doing all the work and putting together all the programs and creating all the format, and they're making sure that everything works, and they're building buildings and they're creating civilizations, that they should hand that all over and let everyone be equal to them, because it's only fair, isn't it? Isn't it only fair that the people that aren't able to do all the work that you've done get to share in all the fruits of your labor? Isn't it fair that that should be done at the cost of your fruits? You should voluntarily hand over everything that you worked for, because if you didn't, you'd be selfish. And the person that can't earn that and can't do it, they're not being selfish by wanting what you have, even though they can't do the work or won't do the work. They're not being selfish at all. You're the selfish one for expecting that you should have an output for all your hard work. This is the lessons from the show, I Love Lucy. So let me ask you, do you love Lucy? Do you love Lucy? Do you love the attention seeker? Do you love this person that is trying to collect the fruits of your labor, right? Do you love that, Lucy? And that's why the show is called I Love Lucy, because symbolically, and this is all symbolic, folks, I don't really care, to be honest. This is what was symbolically put out there. Lucy is Lucifer, Lucifer the light bearer. If you look at what Lucifer is, it's actually the planet, might be Venus. At any rate, it's a planetary body, and it collects light from the sun. It does the shine isn't originating from the planet, it's originating from the sun. It's like a mirror. It's a mirror image of the sun. It's not the sun itself. So it's a false god. It's not the bringer of life, it's a reflection of the bringer of life. And that's what Lucy is. Lucy is a ride along figure on Ricky's success. And instead of supporting him, being a supportive figure, go, honey, I believe in you. Go earn your keep. Come back and bring it to the home. She only sees the fun part. She only sees the attention. She only sees that somehow all this hard work is a piece of cake and it's fun. Ricky only gets a spotlight in her view. She wants the spotlight too. She doesn't want any of the responsibilities, but she wants the praise. That's the age-old story of Satan and God. God does the work, Satan wants the glory, right? That's the concept of I Love Lucy. So hopefully you understand where I'm coming from on this. I really could care less. I'm not super emotionally connected to the fact that this is going on in America or that I Love Lucy was one of those shows. I'm just trying to figure it out and then distribute the information to you. So I'll try to put a scripture up there that might back up some of the things that I'm talking about, or at least encourage you for the day. And anyway, this is Lawrence with Fellowship of the Father. I hope you enjoyed that one. This was about I Love Lucy. And if you would like, go ahead and leave a comment in the comments section. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions shortly. So please do so. And this is Lawrence with Fellowship of the Father. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.